Hello and welcome to Future Insights, where we discuss all things medical practice growth. Now, today I want to talk to you about something that's really powerful and that could really take your business from a six-figure business to a seven-figure business. And the reason it's so effective is because it's literally going to allow you to separate yourself from the competition, drive highly qualified target leads at lower cost, which will allow you to also increase your bottom line. So why wouldn't you want that for your business? Of course. But before I go into how this little strategy works and how you can implement it to your own business, I want to take a closer look at just the market in a general sense. So I've worked in several different markets: health, finance, business opportunity, sport. And there's one commonality that you always notice, and it is you have the people who are not doing so well. You have the core group of people who are doing average. They all kind of range between maybe £5,000 to £10,000, maybe difference. And then you have the top 3% who are just breakaway, double, triple, quadruple the amount that the average guys are making. And a lot of my clients always want to get into that top 3%, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. In fact, I appreciate it. I admire the ambition. But they try and get into the top 3% using common industry norm approaches. And the issue with that is if you take the approach that everyone else is doing, then you get the same results everyone else has. So if you really want to get into the top 3%, then we need to take a different approach. We need to be standing out from the competition a bit more. So how do we do this? Well, to make sense of this, we need to look at our targeting in a general sense. Now, you would have done many consultations and you will have got so familiar with the process. You would have seen the most common type of people who come into your business. So let's say, for example, female, about 42 years of age on average, married. They all have the same want. They want to get this surgery so they can feel young, feel sexy again, recapture the youth, and they feel this surgery is the way to do it. Now, that in itself is a profile of what your potential target audience will look like, which is important because if you are doing marketing and advertising, and especially in this current economic climate where we need to make every ad dollars count, we need to really make it stretch because it's not getting any cheaper. One of the best ways to make it effective is to have a message that really resonates with the people you want to speak to. So, say for example, our most ideal customer was a 42-year-old married woman from London who wants to feel sexy and feel attractive again. That would be the core message of what I'd be sending out. Now, I'm not saying you won't be able to attract other people outside of this bracket, but if you are going to spend on marketing and advertising for the reasons I just mentioned, if you want it to be as effective as possible and get the most return for your money spent, then you need to have a focused message and speak to a specific group of people. Okay, so now let's take a look. Now let's move on to the actual advertising side of it. So we'll get all our keywords together: cosmetic surgery, breast augmentation, rhinoplasty, and blah blah. And we've got all our keywords together, and we put them into Google and Bing and Facebook, and they, like I said, they throw back the people who are searching for this. But in the search results, what you'll find is you'll see cosmetic surgery, cosmetic surgery, cosmetic surgery, cosmetic surgery. And there's all these different practices basically bidding on the same keywords, trying to attract the same target audience, which ultimately drives the price up. Because not only does it, when people search these keywords, they get so many the same kind of results, if you want, that it doesn't really allow you to stand out. So you still, even though you're paying a lot, you're still not really achieving a lot, if that makes sense. And this is what makes this strategy that I'm about to share with you so powerful. And we call it the out of category strategy. Now, what this does is it allows us to target these hot prospects in different places. And I'll give you an example that works well, even in the retail sector, for example. So my mother-in-law, she has a gluten intolerance, and as a result, she can't eat anything with gluten in it. So when she gets her bread, she doesn't get like a standard loaf. She has a specific special bread that she has to eat. Otherwise, she has all kinds of problems. But this bread, it's not found with the other breads. It's on a separate shelf on a different aisle. And as a result, it stands out more. And they even charge more for the bread because it stands out more. And that's very powerful because if you can stand out from your competition, like I said, not only does it put you in a separate place to them, which just allows you to drive a bunch of fresh leads to your business unchallenged because they're all battling out for the other guys, and you get to speak to them in a different place uninterrupted. So let's say, for example, we're doing a consultation and we've noticed that the woman, she's wearing Chanel bag, Chanel coat, Gucci shoes, Cartier watch, all these kind of things. So you think if we was to start targeting stuff like Chanel shoes, Chanel bag, Cartier watch, these people would still be interested in our message. Well, of course, because if the message resonates. They're going to see it, be interested in it, and then hopefully respond, take the necessary action to become clients or patients of ours. So that's very powerful because while everyone else, like I said, is battling it out and bidding, driving the price up to get these people, we get to reach them and speak to them completely unchallenged at a lower cost because we're not competing the same for the same keywords. So when the search results actually come up, you'll see Chanel bag, Chanel coat, cosmetic surgery, such and such, and then so on. So automatically, you're already standing out from everyone else because no one else is doing this. They're all, like I said, they're all doing the old way, the old approach. And like I said, if you're doing industry norms, then you get industry norm results, which is just average at best. But if we want to get in the top 3%, then this is the kind of approaches we need to be taking. So, what do you notice about when you do your consultations? What do you notice about your prospects? What kind of stuff are they interested in? What kind of stuff do they wear? What other ways could we target these people who'd be interested in getting surgery? Where can we? Where other places could we find them? And that's your mission. That's what you should be doing. Now, if you need help implementing this strategy, then like I said, feel free to get in touch. Apply for a diagnostic session with ourselves. We'll give you a diagnosis breakdown of everything that's going right and wrong within your business. And if you want, we'll even work with you to fix the problems within your business that you may have. Or if not, we'll just tell you what it is and wish you all the best. No, free of charge, no harm done. But like I said, if you are interested in working with us and you are interested in taking your business from a six-figure business to a seven-figure business, then we have the strategies and know-how to make this possible. So again, click the link, fill in the form, and see if you're eligible to work with us because not everyone is a good fit for our business and we can't help everyone. We want to make sure we can help you get the results that you really want. So again, fill in the eligibility form. We'll go through it. And then if we feel that we can actually help you with what you're trying to achieve, we'll set up a call where you have a free diagnosis session. And like I said, if you want help fixing these issues within your business, we can also help you with that too. But that's what I'm going to leave it here for now. But don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.